This is gonna hurt my fuel economy, but I did it with the Abarth. Now I have to do it with the Econoline. Here we go. Going up a grade. And then I'm just gonna go into a slow lane right now. Perfect timing right here. Ford V10 next to me in that RV, much larger vehicle. I'm going 60, he's going faster than me. So there's some performance right there. Staying in the slow lane, going 60 miles per hour because, well, almost slow lane. The next lane is the semi-truck lane. I'm just going 60, cruise control right now. I'm also doing a fuel economy vlog right now, so I'm keeping my speed at 60, cruise control. And if you listen, it's staying in 4th gear, overdrive, which I really like. It can hold speed, and it's not downshifting into 3rd. And now I'm gonna have to go 55 because, okay, that semi-truck on the right is going really slow. Alright, so I guess I'll go 55 up this mountain. Anyway, perfect timing with that RV earlier. Like I said, he's a bigger vehicle than me. Probably weighs about 12,000 pounds. When I got this thing weighed, it was like 6,800. So that thing's probably double the weight. What's a Class C RV weigh? What do you think that thing weighed? Put it in the comments. But today's topic, Ford V10. I think it's kind of an unloved motor. I don't see much love for this motor. Not many videos about this thing. If you search Ford V10, I'm pretty sure my videos will be in the top 10 search results. That shows how much people don't make videos about this engine. And I want to take this time right now to say that this is the perfect motor for this van. When it comes to vans, they're not really considered enthusiast rides. Car enthusiasts don't really get vans. I like to think of myself as a car enthusiast. I love cars. I don't have a bias, really. I grew up, so I like what I like. I'm not brand loyal. And for me, being a car enthusiast, I think this is the perfect motor for this van. When you think about vans, people don't think about vans as enthusiast rides, like I said, so they're not really associated with any engines. The Ford V10, I think, is really overshadowed by the diesels. Anytime F250s and F350s, the car enthusiasts, the truck enthusiasts, they want the diesel. So they don't really think about the V10. And of course, when it comes to 250s and 350s, there's usually 3 engine choices, and this was like, when the V10 was available for the 250s and 350s, this was like the middle choice. There was the 5.4, then the V10, then the diesel. When it comes to vans, the Econoline, they never got the Coyote engine. They're not gonna get the 7.3 Godzilla. I mean, this van's discontinued. They still make this in box truck form, delivery truck form, but I don't think it's going to get the 7.3, and I don't think the RVs are going to get 7.3s either. So the Econoline was always a generation or two behind when it came to engine choices available compared to the 250s and 350s. So pretty much the V10 is the pinnacle for the Ford Econoline. The Ford Econoline never got the EcoBoost. This is it. This is top of the line for the Econoline, and the car guy in me wanted the top of the line engine. And the specs might not be impressive to some people, 305 horsepower, 420 foot-pounds of torque, but it's perfect for me because I like box vans. I like the old school body on frame van. So the car guy in me is happy that I got the pinnacle of engines when it comes to the Ford Econoline. Now, like I said, right now I'm going 60 cruise control. I'm not in any hurry, 60 is a good speed. I like going 55, but you know, there's a fair amount of traffic right now, so you know, I'm trying to get the best fuel economy as I can. And people don't really get mad at you for going slow in a van. When I try going this slow in my Abarth, people try to run me off the road because, you know, I'm in a tiny little car, and they're probably wondering, why is this guy going so slow in a tiny car? But when it comes to a van, you know, they don't know. What if I have a bunch of cargo in my van and I'm going slow for safety? So no one has to know that my van's empty right now. I just like going slow for fuel economy. So there's a good amount of power for this van. It's not the most powerful vehicle ever, but it's not embarrassing either. And I'll show a clip earlier when I gunned it up the mountain. That probably cost me $4 worth of gas to do that brief clip, but I did it in my Abarth, so I also did it in my van. I like this mountain section. When I first got this van, I was really looking forward to if this was gonna be able to hold overdrive going up this incline, and it is holding overdrive, which I'm really happy about. But like I said, as a car enthusiast, I'm not looking to getting a brand new van. I just wanted a van, body on frame van. I was also considering the GM, the big block GM, the 8.1. It was only made from 2002 to 2003, or it could have been 01 to 02. It was only made for 1 year with the big block. But I was considering the 6.0, the 6.0 Econoline, or not Econoline, the 6.0 Express in Savannah had 300 horsepower, 360 foot-pounds of torque. So this van overpowers that van, has more power than that van, but 300, 360 was good enough for me. And I was actually considering the Express because I saw a good deal for a high-top conversion van, but that sold really fast. So there was a 99% chance I was going to get the Econoline again, because I previously had an Econoline, and that one had the wimpy motor 5.0. It was a 92, 180 horsepower, 280 foot-pounds of torque. So this has more than 100 horsepower and more than 100 foot-pounds of torque more than my last van. So this van's way more powerful than my last van, and I'm happy about that. And like I said, you know, I wasn't expecting the most, you know, I don't need the most powerful van ever, but this is up there. The Ford Transit vans with the 3.5 EcoBoost, they're really impressive. But like I said, the Econolines, they never got the EcoBoost, they never got the 6.2s, they never got the Coyote. So I got the old school modular V10, and that's good enough for me. Top of the line right here, like I said, in terms of the Ford Econoline. So I think it's the perfect motor. When people get the 250 or 350, they're going to want the diesel, and the diesel is available. The 6.0 is available for this van, and the 7.3, but they cost a lot. I got this van for $6,000 with the diesel. Like, I got this for $6 grand with 103,000 miles on it. I'm only at 106 right now. And Econoline with that low miles with the diesel, they go for more than $10,000. So the 6.8 V10, it's a good price. They're somewhat rare, but when you do find them, they're not overly expensive, but they are harder to find than the 5.4s. The 5.4s are really easy to find, along with the 4.6s. When I did my search on this van, there was only 3 vans for sale within 200 miles from me, so they're pretty rare. But when they are for sale, like I said, they're not overly expensive. They're good price. So the car guy in me is really happy with what I have here. Right now I'm getting about 17.1 miles per gallon. I'm doing a separate fuel economy video. This is my second road trip with this van, but I wanted to take the time to talk about this engine. Really underappreciated. Doesn't get much love, and like I said, there's so few videos about this engine. If you search Ford V10, I'm probably in the top results. When you search you know, Ford with a diesel, there's thousands of results, thousands of videos about Fords with diesels in them. So when it comes to the Econoline with the V10, not much videos about the Econoline with the V10. So I want to give a shout out to the Ford V10. The car enthusiast in me, the guy on a budget, you're gonna like this engine a lot. It's not an embarrassing engine. It's you know, you don't have to be embarrassed with this engine. It has plenty of power, enough power to compete with the old school 90s pickups and SUVs. It has power in that range. I wouldn't get this with the 4.6 or a 5.4. I think it would be a little underpowered with the 5.4 or the 4.6. This big of a vehicle, you're gonna want the V10. You saw earlier that RV passed me, going a little faster than me in a vehicle much heavier. So shout out to the Ford V10. I think it's a perfect engine for this van. I'm happy with it. I'm at the 3-month mark of owning this van, and no complaints with the power when it comes to this van. Going 55 right now because I'm about to exit, but check this out. I'm going to show you guys the fuel economy. I'm doing a separate video for the fuel economy. A 55, cruise control, 17 miles per gallon, and just under 1700 RPM. So when people talk about the Ford V10s, people talk about them getting 10 miles per gallon. You could actually get decent fuel economy. Just take your time, drive 55 to 60. I think even if you go 65 and you don't gun it all the time like this, yeah, just don't do that all the time, and you'll get decent fuel economy. But I think people just constantly gun these engines, and that's why you get 10 miles per gallon. But if you take your time, keep it at 55 or 60, you'll get 17 miles per gallon. You'll probably even get 15 miles per gallon going 65, 70. Just don't gun it at every stop sign. I'm at a stop sign right now. Just don't do this all the time. Oh, you can hear everything freaking fly all over the place. All that torque. Here's some bonus footage. 271.3 miles traveled. 17.5 miles per gallon. I'm gonna fill up on fuel right now and get my actual fuel economy. 15.498 gallons added. 271.3 divided by 15.498, 17.5 miles per gallon. This thing was perfectly calibrated. Continuing my road trip, gotta mention the sound. I said this is the perfect engine for this van if you're a car enthusiast. Vans are also not associated with sound at all. Like heavy duty pickups, people associate it with the diesel sound, and then the light duty pickups, they tend to have V8s, and people put high flow mufflers on those and they sound like muscle cars. This van just sounds different. Here we go. That's a really smooth motor, and this is a good sound. All right, let's go ahead and enter the freeway with some speed. Check it out. It's my van's brother right there. Van life. Freeway is coming up right now. I don't care about this tank right now. The tank home, this is just finishing up my road trip, and then the tank home is where I'm going to get more stats. I'm happy with 17.5. Like I said earlier, people associate these Ford V10s with 10 miles per gallon or less. I think it's the way people drive them. Take your time. But just for fun, we'll go ahead and enter this. And then you'll hear all my stuff because of all the torque. Hear my stuff flying around. It's a good sound. Alright, now I'm gonna go behind this guy and put it in cruise control at 60. 5 miles per gallon. That wasn't good. I was momentarily at 5 miles per gallon.